things true.
Well, I mean,
I don't ever know what to
I'm
believe.
from a black. I'm from a
Yeah.
black.
I just get confused, and
Yep.
it's worse than Christianity dealing
But
with
it's
this.
hard for other people to accept it.
Yeah.
Because I am. I don't know if you know. I'm from this tribe called Huldah, and it's a.
Now you can
here we go.
pass it off for me now. I got you.
Yeah.
I right through there is where the logic definitely starts to come together. Okay, so today, thing we did last week. So last week, for those of you who were not here, did last week, and those of you in this room who were not here last week, what we did was we continued with the you already know Hebrew thing, and we focused on the word pictures, putting the word pictures together with root words, putting them together, and then from those root words, seeing the definition of the words in Scripture. So one of the things that was said last week was that Hebrew is a language, and that is seen or observable, the letters, are observable in action in the universe, but they get their definition in the Scripture. So, and the interesting thing was that you can even see the definition or the function of the word in English, which is just sheer mastery on the Most High's part. Takes a little work. Some of the tools we used were what are those things called? They're like pictograph cutouts. You can find them on the Her Royal Roots website under teachings, and it'll be lesson downloads, pictograph cutouts. Download it, cut them out into individual pictographs, and you're all good for this lesson. If you have them from last week, then you're even better for this lesson. So today we're going to take two Hebrew words, once again, that we all know, but we have a definition for them, some of us, and sometimes the definition doesn't match. But also, we're going to get a working definition for those words in Scripture. I picked two because these two, I kind of want us to wrestle with them a little more, and I'm going to show you two words, actually, that have their root in a different word that you wouldn't even have thought of, okay? So the first one we're going to look at has a prophecy attached to it, and the prophecy gives the definition of the word in English. So you might get a little tripped up with that word. You're going to say, oh, the word means just this. But then you're going to see the word in action in another verse where you're going to actually get the verbal root of the word. It's kind of cool. Okay, so what we used last week were the pictographs. We use Bible Hub, so that's what we use to Google. And then I have the verses pre-written down ahead of time. So if you want to go through the process individually, you can do that. I'll actually be able to run it on the screen. I'll just kind of kneel right here and put it up. The process, the simple process of looking it up. Now, if you want to go through with just plain books, you're going to need a Septuagint. The Apostolic Bible has, I was like, apostolic? The Apostolic Bible has, the use for that would be to see the Septuagint Greek under the words, so you can go back and search that way. But this way is just easier. We can do a whole separate video or lesson if people want to take, I want to have my scripture, I want to have 2 reference books, and then a definition book, because that would be the process. But Bible Hub brings all those things into one space. Todaya for the internet. Okay, the first word we're going to do today. Oh, I need my Hebrew chart. Does anybody have that chart from last week? If not, I'm going to just dip and grab it, because it makes it easier for me to.
Oh, oops.
That works too. That's a good segue. I'll be right back.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. I'm back. It's just a cord. I can fix these things. Okay, now I have the chart, so I can write it in all 4 versions like we did it last week and not mess it up.
You went live?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah?
I don't. Oh, okay.
Am I on?
Yeah, I guess.
Yes? Okay. All right. Now we're good. Okay, last week what we did was I gave it to you by mouth, by word, and I let you listen to the sounds. So now you have to use your functional Hebrew for the sounds of the letters. So we're incorporating more things. They give you the word, And then you're going to find the letters and then create the 3-letter root. I'm giving you that ahead of time, it's a 3-letter root. And then I'll put the spelling up in its different versions on the board as you guys begin to ruminate over. The word for today is yara. 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 Try to say it different ways so you can keep the spelling yara. Okay? So begin taking your pictographs by sound, because you should know the sounds. Remember, the sounds don't change. I don't care if you have modern script in front of you. I don't care if you have paleo. I don't care if you have pictograph. But the pictographs are going to give you a picture. So yara, yara. I'm going to write it on the screen phonetically now. So this is how this process goes. Slowly I give you the cues instead of giving it to you all at one time. All right, yara. Those are A's, by the way. I guess I can use a finer tip because it's closer. You guys are closer in the room. So, Y-A-R-A-H. A good rule of thumb.
Or there H.
A good rule of thumb is when I put up the phonetic word, when I put it up how it would be like phonetically pronounced, is to drop the vowels. It's an easy way, sometimes, to find the root word if I give you a word written up here. Sometimes. It doesn't work all the time. Okay? Sometimes. For this word, it works. So if you were to drop your...
So it's yod.
Mm-hmm.
Resh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yes. All right. So we have some people who already have it in the room. So we have a... Go ahead and erase these. We have a yod. Oops. Yod. If you have your pictographs on your page, it will look like this. Yod. I'm going to write it going down, just so I can preserve space on this little tablet. So it's going to go down vertically. Yod.
Right.
And then,
That's not yod.
That's not.
I mean, whatever, because it's the first thing on my page.
That's
It's the
olive.
first thing on my page.
That's
Good
olive.
catch.
I know.
Good catch. Okay, here we go. Yod. Resh is gonna look a little cheesy because I'm not the best
Man's
figure
head.
drawer. So I'm looking down.
Oh, that's good.
Something like that, right?
Better than mine.
And then, K is this guy right here.
The praising guy.
Yes. He has like little legs. There we go. All right, and then if you're writing it in regular paleo, it's gonna look like, right? It's gonna look like this. Okay, Z,
It looks like an apostrophe kind of, huh?
and then like that, and then hey, I think looks like,
Backwards.
yeah, like R-E-C, like a 4-year-old C. Okay, so if you wrote it in all 3 forms, that's what you would get. All right, so the next thing you're gonna do, huh?
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, something like that, something like that. Next thing you're gonna do is following the best way to do it first is to start off in the order that it presents. define the word based upon its pictographs. So that's where the Hebrew chart with the, the Hebrew definition or functional definition comes into handy. Define it based upon what you get from that chart. You can use a simplified version if you already know what they mean. Let me move my head. Then you can kind of go through them and then write out a simple functional definition. Don't make it abstract when you give me the definition. Give me a definition that uses the pictographs, and that'll keep it concrete. We don't want it abstract. We don't want, something that it isn't. Okay, so go through and do that. I'm going to give you a few minutes, and then I'm going to tell you what the base of this word is. Then I'm going to give you what this actual word means, and then we'll actually see it in function in Scripture. Yes.
You said it was today?
Huh?
You said the word, or English word was?
Yada. Yara, sorry.
In English?
Yara. Oh, in English. I didn't give you the English word.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't give it to you
okay.
yet. No,
That's
you're
the
working
word
for
she's
it.
giving you today.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I
You're
heard
working for it,
today.
'cause you're like,
I was like, what?
What, yom? This is not
Yom?
yom. Hi, yom?
Right.
No.
I was like, what is this? All right, I'm good.
Okay. I'm going to give you the word that this word, the word that we all know that this word derives from. The word that we all know that this word derives from in English is law. In Hebrew, the word is Torah. This word is the root word, which means it gives the action behind what Torah is supposed to be. Okay? So that's your hint. So I'm going to go around. Anybody have anything from those 3 letters that this word means? Yes.
Do you know what the term facepalm means?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, hand, head. Oh, behold.
Okay. So that actually is
That's
really
very
good.
Very 21st century.
Brother Ed said like a face palm, like hand, head, oh, behold. So, yeah, I would, if I put it into like a sentence, I would be like the action or the hand coming in contact with the man in order to draw his attention, right?
I
Okay.
was being like a father. Take your head, turn around and pay attention.
Oh,
That's a good one.
that's good.
So, Brother Yaziyahu said, to take your head and cause you to turn around and pay attention. Wonderful. Anybody else?
I just got work first, behold, but
Huh?
I don't know what that
Work
means.
first, behold. That's actually very good as well. All right. The functional definition, or the functional definition that's given when a commentator or if you look in a book, it'll be the idea of to cast, to point, or to send somebody by instruction, like throw your hand to the right direction. That is the functional definition of the word. So when a person says, I don't believe we have to keep Torah, you see how that is contrary to the base definition of what Torah means? So when you pull over and ask for directions, and a person says, oh yeah, when you go down here, make a right, you're like, I don't believe, and somebody pointing me a direction so I can get where I'm going. So I'm going to go left. Right? You will never arrive at your intended end if you don't follow a direction. So by nature, now we understand the definition functionally of Torah, everyone follows Torah. There is a way that is right, period. When you're trying to get to an end, there's the right way to get there, right? Now you could go, to get to my house, you could take 145 and come up 36, you could take 41 and come up 36, but those directions are toward the intended end, and they're both right. You can't go a wrong way and get here. You'll never arrive here. So you can't go against the intended way and then arrive at the expected end. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right, let's look at the functional definition. Turn with me to Genesis 31:51. Now this is the part where we see in the English that the definitions actually exist in Scripture. Now this is also a shameless plug towards learning Hebrew. Because a person would say, well, then I don't need to learn Hebrew, I can just read the English Bible. But we had to actually go through the Hebrew to actually find out if the English was even lined up. You can't do it the other way around, you'll never see it. You'll just read right over it, because it doesn't make any functional sense to you.
Yeah, man.
All right, Genesis, better sheet, 31, Hashmoshim, and then it's Hamashim, or hot Hamashim.
Wow.
Good. Cream cheese cream. It's backwards. All right, 30, she's like, yeah, whatever. Okay. So remember I told you the idea of to cast or to throw in a particular direction? Okay, I didn't make that up. It's actually defined right here. And Laban, or Laban, which is white, said to Yaakov, behold this heap, and behold this pillar, which I have cast betwixt me and thee. So you see the word cast there? All right, that's something that causes you to have to look at it because it's actually going to stand as a witness. Okay? So when you see in scripture function, they say Torah is a witness against you. You see the function right there. It is the direction or the witness that is put or cast before you. So you see the idea of the hand, turn the head, to behold this thing, and it's acting as a witness. All right, but that's just cast. Once again, we have an abstract word, but we don't see the verbal root of it happening. Okay, so the first mention gives you the word cast, but the second one is going to give you the definition in its action form. Genesis 46 and 28.
So you're saying this is the first entry of that word as in action?
That's the first entry, period. That's the first time
So
we're going
that
to see
was-
that word in scripture being used.
So that one we just saw.
The one we just saw, Genesis 31:51. So Genesis 46:28 is the first time we're going to see it in its functioning form, where we see it living, like that idea of the head, like he said, to turn the head to behold something. And watch how cool this is. 46:28. And he sent Yehudah before him unto Yosef to direct his face, right, unto Goshen, and they came into the land of Goshen. To turn one's head to have them behold something. Literally, the face, the man, to literally direct his face so he could go. Isn't that cool? No, I just nerding, or is that just like super cool?
They have the same, is it because they have the same root?
It's because they have the same root and it's the
Direct.
same word, but the translator the first time translated as cast.
Right.
But in this verse, you actually see the
Direct.
casting, the
Right.
idea of directing it. And so instead of translating it with one word as cast, the translator chose to actually translate it out in how it would have presented in the context. So the reason why we even, the purpose of this in totality is because the context means so much more. You could stop at just cast and be like, oh, I made it to the end. But until you see the word, this is so cool, until you see the word living and doing, it's not quite there.
Right.
Working on this book, shameless plug, with his own blood. And one of the things that I'm coming across is that our ancestors were waiting for the word to, if you will, come alive. So just like we could stop at cast, but cast just wasn't good enough, you want to go and you want to actually see the word live in front of you. That is like the theme of all the Hebrew letters. It's one thing to see them just as they're defined. It's one thing to see a tree, but it's another thing to see a living tree, like Yisrael. So they wait for both. As a people, we want to see both. We want to see the tree in its concrete form. Then we want to see the tree in action, living amongst us. So when you see a tree that's bearing fruit, then you're like, oh, it's not just a tree, but this tree actually has a particular function. When he relates to Israel as a tree or as a family, it's one thing to say, oh, it's cool, it's a family. But then to see the tree or the family bear fruit, then you know that it's actually doing what it's supposed to do. It shows the obedience, if you will, of the Hebrew letters.
Right.
They don't just exist in a static form, but they actually exist to carry out the function and to witness and tell us what we're supposed to be doing and how we're supposed to be behaving in accordance with so when it says people are without excuse, it's true because literally everything testifies. The letters are testifying. And we do things, they're testifying. Like, for an example, if a person says, I don't like following directions, right? Then you say, how do you ever end up anywhere?
Right.
Like, how do you ever make it anywhere? Oh, it's okay when Siri tells me. It's just not okay when Yah tells me to do it. And then look how that is immediately a witness against you. How directions have to exist for you to get places. And Yah's like, exactly, my law has to exist for you to make it to me. That makes sense? All right.
Time.
Leave that there for another second, literally, and then we're gonna do the next word. The next word is Noah. I'm saying it correctly because it's gonna help you spell it. Noah.
Noah.
Noah, but
In his
in his
name.
Hebrew pronunciation. Noah. All right, Noah.
Okay, shh.
All right, I'm gonna write it in English. No. What? But it's actually no. Ah. So how it would be written phonetically is no. And this was a little difficult, so. What I could,
N-O-A.
Yeah.
Nah, nah.
Nah, no.
Nuh-uh.
No.
Nuh-uh.
Who's there?
And actually, if we pronounce it truly phonetically, it would be like this.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
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 Huh.
Now it has to be, I'm saying, because if we didn't have vowel points, we wouldn't, at this point, unless it was written, maybe the Tiberian or the Yemenite vocalization, we would have vowel points instead of, vowels, consonants as vowels instead of. All right, Noah. Okay, this is one of those interesting words that also breaks down into a two-letter root. So, just gonna let you know that ahead of time. But for this purpose, it is a three-letter root. You're gonna have 3 pictures on your page.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
If I did like this, it would probably help. A little. This is one of those instances where where it shows that originally our ancestors used the consonant as a vowel also. Because in this case, one of your vowels, or one of your vowel sounds, is actually a consonant. Okay? And, so I'll put the O like that. So if you have this sheet, if you have this one, probably you don't, but if you have this one, and I think I have it up on the website too, on the back, it gives you some vowel sounds. So you can kind of guess a little which of these makes that sound. You want it? Can you pass it around? Yeah. All right.
Is it vowel?
So,
Yeah.
I'm far off him. Oh, that's correct?
Yeah, yeah,
No, this is correct?
yeah.
For real?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
No.
He's like, oh my gosh. Did something just click? Is
It
it that
worked.
moment where you're like, oh no, it's happening?
No,
Yeah.
I was just going at it with like, okay, how far off am I? I know I got one right.
You got it.
He's so used to joking with other people, he thought he was joking.
Right, so he's joking with himself?
Yeah.
This is-
All right, so in modern script, it would be spelled noon, vav, het. Okay?
Yes.
And that would look like this with the picture. So you have, right, going down again. You would have a C,
Okay.
and then you'd have a connector or a tent peg. That looks like a Y.
Uh-huh.
And then you'd have a het, which is a fix.
Um,
This thing right here.
Oh, one more.
That's it.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You have the olive on. You spell out. Yeah?
I did.
Oh, no, I was looking at,
That's the one I have. Is that?
no, you're missing,
Noon bomb.
no, I'm just
One
saying
line.
it's 1, 2, 3 line.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I was like,
Yeah.
wait, that's it. Yeah, my fence, something would get through that fence.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's like, serves no purpose at all. Okay, and then,
RG3.
right, and then for, paleo, it would look like. So, noon. Will pretty much look the same, and it would look. the
Now
same,
that has
just-
two,
Right, maybe
and
that's.
sideways, yeah.
Yeah. Something like that. All right. Okay, give me a definition. String those three together. A definition of what that word means.
Seed connected to. Seed.
Ooh, I have a good one.
Life and separation.
Life and separation. So functional. Yes. Yes, that's really good. That's actually probably better than mine. Life and separation.
Well, Noah, right, so his life was separated,
His life was separated for sure because that's one of the reasons why God chose him.
right? So that's what the peg is for, to show,
It's not just and in this sense, but it's also to show
that it
That's
was,
right.
it was sealed, like a securely,
or a dividing
right,
thing, and acts as a conjunction, joining two things, or separating two things, and then being the joiner between those two things.
his life was separated from the world,
His life being separated from the world.
so that's grace.
Okay. That is grace in function. Kin, which is two of these letters, are in grace. The het and the nun. So yes. Anybody else? I'll tell you mine. Mine is not exactly. It's cute. Okay, I had the seed being securely divided.
Oh,
I spelled that right now. It wasn't on my paper. I wasn't cheating. I was doing it with the group. So the seed being securely divided. So if you look at the picture of Noah, right, I'm looking at function, what he did. He functioned as a vessel for Yah, securely dividing all the seed, literally all the seed of the planet into a place from the flood. Okay. Let's see how our definitions stand up against the revelation of Scripture. Now, this one may be difficult to see on the surface because the root of the word exists in a longer word. Okay? I'm going to read it in English and I'll tell you how it's in there. So if you have a Hebrew Bible in front of you, you'll be able to see it. So Genesis 5 and 29. And actually, I have one. I can pull it up. Let's see. I'll put up in Bible Hub. 5. So you're watching on the screen. I literally just typed in Genesis 5 and 29. Now this is not how I found the first mention. How I found the first mention is I Googled Noah. I said Hebrew word for Noah. And it showed up in Genesis 5 and 29. No magic. Okay, so Genesis 5 and 29. I'm going to pull it up in Hebrew so that you can see what I'm talking about the root word existing within another word. Okay, so I'll leave it small and I'll zoom in. So Genesis 5, Bereshit, Chamesh, 5, 29. That would be Chamesh. Just in case anybody is wondering. 5 and 29. All right. And it says, and he called, so background, and Lamech was Noah's father, lived 182 years, and begat a son. And he called his name, I'll read as it says in scripture, Noah, saying, so just a brief little historical thing, when we named our children, we gave meaning to the name. The name wasn't for nothing. The name is also prophetic. That's why I said prophecy. It says, saying, this one, shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which Yahuwah cursed. Okay? So right here, the word means comfort, abstractly. We get that he's going to comfort us, but we don't get how, right? We get the abstract of it's going to happen, but we don't actually see it in action. Make sense? So what I was telling you is he says his name, right, in English, and phonetically, right here, it says Noah. So here it uses the vowel point to give you the O sound, which is interesting, right? The action is above in its root word. So that is also an indication that we use the vav, kolam. Make sense? Okay, so here you have Noah. So they say his name in English on one, but when you get to this word, it doesn't say he, Noah, or Noah, comfort us, menu, like menu, us, right? So you get the word right here, but in English it doesn't translate again as Noah. It says shall comfort us. Isn't that kind of interesting? So they should have said Noah again. If you could put it up there, you could put it down there. But it would have made no sense. So then they give you the definition of what his name means abstractly, which is to comfort us. Okay? All right, want to see an action? 8 and 4. 8 and 4. So using those functional definitions that we gave one another, Genesis 8 and 4. And the ark, right, rested in the 7th month on the 17th day upon the Mount of Ararat. So the idea of the ark coming to a place of safety and rest. His function was not just to comfort us, but was he comforting us from? There was destruction all around the ark's tumultuous place, and then it came to a place and then rested. That is comforting. After being tossed around for almost a year. So he came to bring a comfort that existed in the revelation of Yah saying something and then it coming to pass. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So then the comfort, if we, and it's funny because this is like helping me with something I've been struggling with. The revelation was that Yah said he was going to do something in each one of these words, in all of the words. And then the action is him actually doing it through what he had already preconceived in his own mind, and now we're watching it unfold right before us. So if you want to go back and we use Isaiah's picture of him, which is grace, because there's a verse that says, and Noah found grace before in the sight of Yahuwah, in the sight of Elohim, right? The idea was, first, he was separated as a seed toward Yah. He's like, I'm taking you to me. You're protected. And now that I've done it to you, your function is to now do it outwardly to other people, which is to create the space, be obedient to me, and then bring them in. That's how all of these words work. First, Yah does them for us, and then as a community, we do them for one another. That's how the world sees Yah. So Torah is first done for us, turns our heads, points us in the right direction, and then by us continuing in the right direction, it's going to capture the eye of other people, turn them, and send them in the right direction. He comforts Noah, brings him in, separates him, gives him the opportunity to now create a space to now allow other people in to be separate. Same thing for us. First, he's going to separate us, make sure that we're safe and that we know who he is, and our next job is to then extend that same grace, if you will, that same separation. Come in here. It's safe in here to other people.
That's like the head ox showing the other ox the ropes.
Yes. Brother Gene said it's the experienced ox that's yoked with the young ox, showing him the correct path. Because it'd be kind of weird to put two unexperienced people together. It's like the blind leading the blind, like they say. When you take the experienced one, I'm going to keep walking straight. And the beauty of the person, in this situation, who's actually driving the oxen, is that he already knows that the experienced ox is not going to go off course. And he puts a yoke on you to really you can. It's annoying to the experienced ox because you're like, and he's like, I'm just going to keep walking straight. And you're just going to be forced to keep walking straight until eventually you're going to give up because I'm stronger than you in will and in obedience, like Yehoshua, that eventually with your neck in this thing, you're going to break your neck or you're going to start walking straight. So by Yah giving us a Messiah to actually live out his word in front of us, you literally are facing, you're going to break your neck and die, or you're going to walk obediently. And the walking obediently seems like it feels a lot better than breaking your neck. His yoke is easy, and his burden is light. Why? The experience is carrying all the weight. All you have to do is walk with him. Maybe we should start a conversation or something. Ask some questions. Right? Right?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions? Literally, any questions?
Did you guys visit Capernaum when you were in Israel?
Yes, we did.
So in Hebrew, the name for Capernaum, that's the English way of saying it.
Right.
Capernaum,
Oh,
it's the town of comfort.
wow.
Capernaum.
That makes so much sense, because then that makes sense why the Mashiach would have gone and rested in that particular place. It's
Place of
functional.
comfort.
Restville.
Right, restville, literally.
Wow.
Place of separation.
And Isaiah 40,
Give it to me.
Yeshayahu. The first verse.
Yeshayahu, verse 1. Ha. Comfort ye, my people, saith Elohim.
Nahum Ami.
Right. And then what does he do? It leads you to rest. The end goal is the rest.
Rest.
It's to, and that idea of not walking with the Mashiach but resting with him makes no sense. You cannot rest if you don't walk. What are you resting from? I'm just gonna sit here while you do all the work. And then, how annoying is that? Has anybody ever experienced that?
Yeah.
Whoa. It'll boil your blood, right? So then, if it'll boil our blood in a human sense, and how much more if the Mashiach carried all the weight and all the burden to the destination, and you just sat and watched, and then was like, "Whoo, we so tired."
Oh, yeah.
Right? No, it's not gonna work. There has to be some laboring, some toiling, so that you appreciate the rest. Make sense? All right.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
So if you took Noach and reduced it according to the gematria,
Mhm.
you would get, if you use that value, would that enhance the meaning of this or not necessarily?
It will. It will. If you take the value, he's asking about the gematria, the adding up of the letters that exist, and going and looking at the different words that also mean the same thing, they're going to mean the same thing in a positive and in a negative. Remember, numbers are both positive and negative. Hebrew also works that way, has both a positive meaning and a negative meaning. So if you were to take those and add those up, actually we can do it. Okay, noon. Everybody know what noon means? Noon, numerically,
What is that, 12?
50.
No, it's
Bob?
Mm-hmm.
Bob, on the hey, and then pet, that was anything over, oh, that's 8, I think.
That's
Yeah.
8.
8. Okay, so 8 and 6 is 14. 50 and 14 is 64.
Mhm.
All right, let's look it up. We'll just use that Bill Keytrick.
But I'm 64.
Hebrew, gematria, 64. Now I stick strictly to what it adds up as. I don't divide, I don't do any of that interesting stuff, just what it adds up as, okay? So we're gonna look at the numerical value of 64. So 62, 63, 64. So we have a word here, anacha, to a complaint or a sign. What happens when you're working before you enter into rest? Right? Or when you sit down after resting. Whew. Right?
Sweating.
So it still carries with it the same function.
And
definition.
Noah is right in the middle of that word.
Literally, like in the center. It would be like dean, to tread, to press down, subdue, have power, rule, judge, vindicate. All these are English words, but I'll give you function. When a ruler is pursuing and fighting, they're doing it to achieve peace. So David, subdued all of Solomon's enemies so that he could rest and build Yah's temple.
Right.
Make sense? He lived during rest. Yah did the same thing for the Romans, for Yahushua. Because when he came, it was during Pax Romana. The world was actually in a sense of peace. That makes sense? Kind of the same picture. Okay. To move to and fro, to be pendulous, wave, totter, hang loose, to be slack, weak, language to fail. The idea, again, of comfort, relaxation, rest. Judge, just that one. To be, to conceive. Comfort, there we go, go to that one. Gold waters, that's an interesting one, I have to look at that. A prophecy or a prophetic writing. Prophetic writing, especially for where we sit in history, gives us comfort. It lets us know that the time that we exist in right now is not the end of our existence. Does that make sense? Okay, Noah, to incline oneself, to rest, to settle down, to repose, to rest, to quiet. Anata, to stretch out, extend, to spread out, expand, to hold out, propose, to spread abroad, to bow down, to stoop. All those are literally pictures of resting. When you're ready to rest, you want to keep your feet up, stretch out. Consolation, to give you, that's almost like a internal, emotional type of rest. So like, all this 12, here's a consolation for you. This is like he gave to Lamech. The world is crazy right now, but this one right here, he's going to bring comfort. To turn, to approach, to traverse, to go around, to encompass, to besiege, to surround. When something is surrounding something, or if you're in a protected place, it's comforting. So the idea, the word there is, it's sabav, but another word, it would actually carry the idea of like, to be in a protected wound, like something keeping it in. So the idea of like, so the support of the house or the protected place. I see that there. Also in your own house, to set up a protection around it so that there's a protection around that which is vulnerable, which would have been the house that housed the children and the women during the Hebrew times. So the prop or the support would have been the man. The house or the bet would have been where people lived. He was creating a safe surrounding place. And then, interestingly, stocks. You see it down there? Sonic, do, so would have been the idea we talked about, that idea of yoke. Stocks are the thing that goes around your neck. So it is comforting to be yoked, right? Which means that there's a person more experienced guiding you. And if you're the young oxen, there's an ox more experienced walking with you. So there's comfort in the stocks or in the bonds. So if you think of, Shaul, his bonds, but it was comforting because he knew that he was in those positions because he was being obedient to the Father.
How do you spell that? Belmatru. How you spell
Let me go back, because I always get it wrong. Gem, and it's actually a Greek word, which is funny. I need to figure out what that word is in Hebrew, because there has to be one. But Gemari.
Oh, okay. Oh, I guess a website too.
Bill Hedrick. If you type in Hebrew Gematria, it's normally the first one that pops up.
H-E-I.